everyone, it's Friday night and I don't normally do these on a Friday night, which is kind of why I'm not wearing my normal scrubs, but I'm really excited and wanted to do this Friday because we're going to meet a member of our community who is a skin size 2. And it's really special to do it this week because our community member Claire was on television this week and she was talking all about her melasma and the struggles that she's had with it over the past few years. Its combination with the acne that she's experienced. And then she also has this combination then of the acne leading to post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation along with the melasma. So it's a lot of pigmentation going on. I see lots of you joining to hear her story and to hear what has been happening with her. So I met Claire as part of the television series, The Bad Skin Clinic. And whenever I first met her, it was June, and we're always under such a lot of pressure with the television filming to get everything done in a certain time frame. And as you can imagine, melasma is a really, really unpredictable, a completely unpredictable condition. And we know that it just gets much worse whenever it is a very beautiful and sunny summer. So all of these little bits of ultraviolet pigmentation or the ultraviolet rays are what causes that extra pigmentation. So you can imagine then what a challenge it's going to be whenever you meet somebody in June and the gorgeous day and the gorgeous months that are ahead are going to be causing a lot of problems. And one of the challenges really at that time of year is trying to discuss and impress upon somebody the importance of wearing their sun protection, because ultimately that is the most important thing whenever we're thinking about trying to protect our skin from the sun, and particularly whenever we're trying to protect our skin from getting any additional pigmentation. Now, I'm hoping Claire is going to be joining us here, but I can see that she is not quite onto the list here. I see a lot of people joining to say hello. So I might just give her a few more minutes until I just launch into the skin size 2. When we have somebody who is a skin size 2, typically they're somebody whose skin is going to be a little bit oilier, and that's really what Claire was experiencing as well. Oh, Claire is here. I see her. She's given me a little I'm here X. So if you just request to join Claire, and then I can let you in. And there we go, view request. Go 1 second. So somebody who's a skin size 2 typically will be having problems with, depending on how extreme they are within that skin size, having problems with bits of pigmentation. And there's Claire.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
I'm really good. Did you watch yourself on television this week?
Yes, I did. It was horrendous.
It was not horrendous at all. Your story, I think, was just so powerful for so many people. And I've just had countless people message me since then to say, what did you use on Claire? What did she do? Which lasers did you use? I was like, we didn't use any lasers.
It's just amazing in relation to obviously watching it as well was a lot more, because obviously I'm my own worst critic. I'm one that's looking at my skin every single day, kind of going in like really with like a 3 zoomed mirror, going in and looking at the really bad parts of it, and to kind of like see it on screen, I was like, oh, that is really, really good. Like every achieved, and especially like obviously you said at the beginning of the live, the summertime, and obviously when I took part in the show as well, and I was like, they want me to come in June? Like, this is when it's worse. Like, it's so much more crazy in the summer months. Like, how are they even going to tackle this? I need to be there in the winter. But yeah.
Well, to be honest, that's exactly what was going through my mind. I was like, come on, guys, give me a melasma in the winter, like, especially in the UK. But no, we got it in the middle of the summer. And that's why, I mean, that transformation that you saw on the television show, it was from June until, I think we finished filming in September, October. Is that right? It was 3 months.
Yeah.
So talk me through, because one of the key things is everybody with melasma comes in and they say, I've been using my SPF. I've been using it. Of course, I've been using it. What do you think was the difference of how you were whenever you came in thinking you were using your SPF compared to the regime that you then moved on to? What was the difference?
I think obviously there's always this thought of, oh well, I only need to put it on when the sun's out. I only need to put it on in the summertime. You don't really need to put it on in the winter time, or oh, my makeup's got a factor 15 in it, and that's obviously, and that you think that you've got that protection from that point there as well. So yeah, there was no way that I was using enough when it needed to be used, or even knowing the types of SPF that I needed to be using as well at the same time. I think you just kind of like pick things up in the supermarket or in one of the shops and be like, oh well, that one looks good. That one seems to be the in thing that people are using, and that's not always the case that you need to be using it for that reason. There's a complete mass amount of different reasons of what you should be looking for within an SPF and how you should be using it and when you should be using it. And I mean, you should be using it every single day of every single minute of your life to protect your skin. Like, if anyone goes away from watching this live, invest, just get some SPF, and honestly, it will change your skin dramatically just by using SPF alone without anything else. And use it even when you're in the house on a rainy day. It sounds crazy, and obviously that's what you had told me as well when obviously I took part in the show. But you don't think of it, of the rays from the light bulbs in your house, from the sun that's coming through your blinds, and all the different things in relation to the sun there, and obviously the amount of UV that actually comes through on a rainy day and on a cloudy day. So yeah, that SPF, massive part of your life. Invest, put it on every single day.
And we were really lucky because when I spoke to the team at L'Oreal, who I do bits and pieces of work for, and said to them, look, I've got a patient and I really need her to find the right SPF for her. She's got oilier skin, and you know, it can't be too cloggy, it has to feel comfortable, and she has to love putting this on. And they very kindly sent you that whole box of SPFs to go through. And now my absolute favorite SPF for melasma, hands down, like I mean, there's just not another one like it, is the La Roche-Posay UV Immune, or UV Immune. And the reason for that is that this is the only SPF, it's only filter actually, that will take you all the way up to 400 nanometers. So that's it's really difficult to formulate something between 380 and 400 nanometers. You know, there isn't another SPF out there that does that. You know, they just can't, they cannot get that. I'm sure they will in the future, but at the minute that just doesn't happen. And that 380 to 400 is in the UVA spectrum, and it's really not that problematic for people who are worried about skin cancer, really. But for people with pigmentation issues, I mean, it really is super important to try and protect against it. And I think that was the one that you picked in the end, was the one that you loved the most.
With me as well, it's literally chef's kiss. It's beautiful.
And this particular one comes in different formulations. So it's the same filters, and yours has the green stripe, isn't that right? So yours is the oil. Does it say oil control on it or shine control? What does it say? The green bit.
The oil control fluid.
Yeah, you have the oil control fluid. So you can get this in lots of different ones. So there's a really nice kids one that I particularly like that was formulated for kids with eczema. So if you're somebody who has particularly dry skin, you can also use the same kind of formula, the same filters, but it's for somebody who has dry skin. So tell me how you put your SPF on now that you're converted and are essentially a mini dermatologist.
So it needs to be 2 fingers worth of SPF. I'll even demonstrate it now.
Yes, good. Good, thank you.
Let's get.
And the reason why this is 2 fingers is from a study that was from years and years ago, actually, in New Zealand. I think the paper is about 1996. It's a really old study. And then it was picked up and really trending in the last few years about an easy way of how you can put it on. And I like this better than the teaspoon method or anything, because, you know, if you've got a small hand, you've probably got a small face. So 2 fingers is a really good amount to cover your face. So let's see your 2 fingers. Show me your 2 fingers.
Yeah. Right, and so we have this much on here.
Perfect.
And then, so I'll pop it on as well. So we're just gonna make sure we get that obviously everywhere. You want to obviously get this rubbed in, and then you're going to do it again,
Yeah.
because obviously anywhere that I'm kind of rubbing now, ultimately I could have missed bits. There's bits that obviously it gives it, I know that then that is going to give me that extra protection all throughout the day. This is amazing as well underneath my makeup because it doesn't pill. I can put my skincare on in the morning with my moisturizer, and then obviously put this on as well. So yeah, it's great for that. And as you can see, it just goes into the skin. I've just got this really nice glow, and it's not sticky. It, it a lot of the time you can put SPF on your face and you just look greasy and tacky, but everything else, it is literally like my skin looks nice in relation to obviously my cheekbones and stuff like that there. And then that's it for the day really. I can put that on and off I go.
So
And then I can just in the heightened months, if I have no makeup on, I can just top that up as well, throughout obviously, every few hours or
and
so.
you said something important. So you put it on like that, and then you would do your two fingers and put it on again.
Yes.
Yeah. And the reason for that is exactly as Claire said, it's to make sure that you don't miss any bits, because with an SPF, essentially what's happening is you're putting a film on your face. Now, you don't want to be able to necessarily see the film, thank you, chemical filters, but it means that that film is there. Any little cracks that things appear is where you can then, get UV radiation onto the skin. And Claire doesn't want to have any. So that's why one layer goes on and then another layer goes on again. And anything else going on top of that, it can disrupt it. So even putting things on like makeup on the top of it, it's more important to press the makeup in rather than rub the makeup in and disrupt that lovely kind of barrier that you've created with it. And I mean, one of the things whenever you came to see me is you were putting on a lot of makeup to cover your brown patches. But I mean, like, you do not need to wear any makeup now. Look at your skin.
I think it's just kind of like it goes through that change of I needed to wear makeup, and now if I now it's a choice. What like it's that want. So obviously I do still wear makeup for work, and obviously if I'm going, but there's more things that I'm doing makeup free. Like I've been to soft play with my nephew this morning, and then out for brunch with my sister and him, and she just contacted me this morning and was just kind of like, we're off to soft play, are you coming? And I was like, yeah, I can be ready. I can sling some clothes on and then off we go. Whereas before it was hours. I wouldn't have been able to do that because it is always kind of like I need to cover the melasma on my face because it was just too dark. I was so self-conscious. People would stare. So yeah, there's obviously it's changed a lot in relation to the amount of makeup. And now I literally use one pump. If I put it on, it is literally the tiniest bit, less than like a 5 pence piece of what is actually going on my face as well, where it was caked on. I was then putting loads of powder on it as well to set it in place. And my makeup just looks a lot more natural now as well because I'm free to be able to do it because I want to do it, not because I need to.
It's good, and I hope you don't need to put any on, because the thing is that you really don't need to. And looking at your glowing skin, like, that's what we all want to see. So we've talked about what you do to protect your skin. So this is your feet. This is what you do to stop the melasma getting worse and to stop stimulating those pigment cells. So we've talked about how we protect it, and this is the non-negotiable part. The protection just has to
Yeah.
continue forever, really. Well, until we're kind of like a few decades down. But the second part to this is actually what we then do to treat the melasma that you currently have. And we know that the best way of treating melasma, actually to treat that part of it, is to use different topical agents, and they are combinations of azelaic acid, hydroquinone, and tretinoin. And you have yours all together in your Clear
I
Special.
do.
At nighttime, your lovely green color. I love the green ones. So you have that all wrapped up at nighttime. So
Yeah.
tell me about your Clear Special, how you found that, and the impact you felt that that's had on your skin.
So obviously in relation to using it, it's when you start, it's a journey. It's not going to just change overnight. And I think that's the thing that I've experienced in the past with things that I've used is that you get impatient with it and you just think, well, this isn't working. It's been a couple of weeks, and that's obviously learning from yourself as well that that's not the way that it works, and that you have to invest your time into doing this right and sticking with it. So I would say that myself, from the kind of like, I would say around about 8-week period that I really did start to notice, and that was kind of from taking before and after pictures and kind of documenting it myself, because that's the way that I was then going to be able to see how I had progressed. Because looking in the mirror, I would have been like, oh well, is there really like? So yeah, and then obviously when obviously I returned back on the show, we was at the 3-month mark as well, and that you can just obviously see massively how much it had changed. And just almost like completely gone. So yeah, it is that investment. It is being patient. It's not a magic fix that works overnight. But if you stick with it, then you will achieve the same results as what I have as well. The ingredients that you're going to be given for whatever skin concern it is that you have work, they do that. It's not going to be any different. So yeah, it's if you're willing to invest and you're at that point where it's kind of like, I really need to fix my skin, then go for it. Go for it. Take your skin size test, work with Clara, and you won't look back, I promise you.
Oh, that is honestly, that's so nice to hear, because that's exactly right. When you're documenting a story so closely, and you were documented to the nth degree on the Bad Skin
Yeah.
Clinic, you know, you were like photographs every day, all of the team all around you. I was like, this is June, this really has to work. And then whenever I saw you back after that 3-month mark, and I was like, gosh, she's stuck to it. And I think that is the message that I just love, Claire, is that it is a journey. You know, the befores and afters, and the promises of like miracles in the space of a day, or you know, the laser treatments that make things look great, or peels that make things look great within, you know, a week. Well, it can do that, but it just comes back. Whereas doing it this way and getting the right habit of doing that same thing every day, well, that really does just keep everything at bay. And the additional ingredients that you've got in it as well, because you were having problems with acne, and you were having problems with, you felt that your skin had become dull, which clearly it is very not now, as everybody's watching this will see. What do you feel like the condition of your skin's like? Different to just the brown marks, but the overall condition?
The overall condition of it as well, and it's more within kind of obviously the last few months, so it did take a little bit longer, but the texture of my skin, like how my skin kind of bounces, I used to like around this area of my face as well, it was all congested and bumpy, and it just felt awful to touch, and I wish you could have like a touch and feel through the screen, because it is literally so soft and so lovely that it's not just that's been, obviously it's not just my melasma or my hyperpigmentation that's been targeted at and achieved results. It's the rest of my skin, and I would say I've got some kind of like deeper lines on my forehead as well, and they have kind of improved over the time as well. Again, a lot longer, because it's obviously the turnover of the collagen will take a bit longer, but that bit of my forehead seems more smoothed out. So there's loads of different benefits that I've achieved from something that I've come for a different reason. So yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Oh, well, honestly, Claire, I really, really appreciate you joining us and telling us all about your journey. And especially whenever I watched it on Wednesday night, I watched it with my own daughters, and my daughter said, "What did she use in her skin? She looks amazing." And it was actually her who made the little video of the 2 stars of the
Oh
show that I put on. Yeah.
my
So
God.
she went up to her room and created it. So you're certainly a star in their mind. They're like, she looks great. So I really appreciate it. I think everybody who has joined tonight and will watch this live again, who are skin size 2, and really at the more extreme ends of a skin size 2, which is what you were, with
Yeah.
lots of problems with congestion and the melasma and pigmentation, will hugely appreciate you sharing your story in that little bit more detail.
Yeah.
And I know that it will help lots of people who've watched the show as well. So thank you so much,
You
Claire.
are more than welcome, and thank you to you for obviously the support that you've given me as well, and obviously going through the treatment plan and everything like that as well. So what I just wanted to say as well is I have set up a TikTok account just to kind of document it a little bit more, and if I can go a little bit more in depth as to my journey and educate people who have melasma or hyperpigmentation, then to follow me, and obviously they can obviously get involved that way as well and ask any more questions. So I am Melasma and Me on TikTok. And yeah, come and join me and follow my journey even more.
Oh, that would be brilliant. And what I'll do is I'll put that in the bottom below. Maybe you could text me afterwards to make sure that I spell it correctly. And I'll put that in the little bio afterwards so everybody can then join it as well, because I think that would be a really, really appreciated thing for the community of people with melasma. And even if it's just documenting the importance of your SPF in the day and your clear night at special, special at night time.
So easy. It is literally wash your face, pop your cream on, that's it. You do not need millions of other creams and potions and lotions. I mean, you can, but you do not need them. And it is as easy as that.
That's amazing, Claire. And thank you everyone else who joined. And I'll see you for the next community check-in. Thanks, Claire.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.